Welcome to the Tribe Digital Marketing Series. Today, I'm joined by Becca Taylor, who is an account specialist with LeadMD. Becca, thank you for joining.
Thanks for having me.
You bet. Well, so an account specialist, you're like me, you're on the front lines, right? And we are sellers in a marketing world. So how did you get involved with marketing?
How did I get involved with marketing? So at my previous company, it was a healthcare software company, but really kind of got introduced. I would say a little bit kind of digital marketing, but also then event marketing. So was doing a lot of work at a lot of conferences that we went to. It was mainly focused on supply chain. So being able to kind of have those in-person events that would create that discussion, and then allow those that were in the supply chain to learn a little bit more about our software. So I really liked that aspect of it, and just being able to meet different people. But then also too was a little bit focused on especially LinkedIn, but I would say moving from healthcare technology to marketing technology where I'm at now. Definitely just not as much, I would say, of a digital presence in healthcare as there is
Sure.
within digital marketing and kind of the companies that we work with now. So
Yeah, well, that's actually a really great transition, as we think about digital marketing and you being on the front lines, having conversations with marketers every day. What are the things that you're hearing? Is it business as usual, just help me with this thing? Or is it, we are trying to do this because of the current COVID situation? What's the balance that you're hearing in your conversations?
yeah, I would say actually I'm hearing, I would say a good balance of it. So I mean, there's definitely some of those prospects and clients that I'm talking to that really they've maybe seen those changes due to the current environment, maybe in their customers or clients, but
Mhm.
really has not had an effect on them. But then on the flip side too, there's been multiple prospects and clients that I've talked to that their demand, and especially just one off the top of my head that I really remember is email marketing and
Mhm.
email campaigns around them, and just how much of a demand that is increasing. And sometimes, I mean, just depending on, again, the client or the prospect that I'm talking to and the size of their marketing team, and just the one that came to mind was essentially small, and them not being able to take on that demand. So again, that would be why they're reaching out to us, so we can kind of take some of that off their plate and be able to support them during this time.
So when you say demand, it sounds like you're talking about internal demand, right? Like the organization is leaning on them heavier to help them with their pivots to digital.
Yeah, definitely internal, and just if it's kind of those different sectors of the business, but maybe they have the one marketing hub, and coming to them, and the demand is really increasing, and I would say too, just increasing fast. I mean, I've heard multiple of these marketers tell me, hey, we usually do about 1 to 2 campaigns
Right.
a month, and then it's now moving to 4 or 5. So definitely just increase, and in a small amount of time. So
Yeah, it seems that we're coming to find out that the unsung heroes of all this is going to be marketing ops. They're the ones bearing all the burden of getting this stuff out the door.
that is true. That is true. So I mean, there's a half of me that's on those calls, and definitely trying to understand, what they need, and how we can support, but also just definitely hearing that kind of overwhelmingness in their voice, and I can definitely tell that they're exhausted. So.
Yeah, for sure. On the customer demand side, have you heard any, horror stories of just complete downturn in customer demand, or on the other side, a complete upswing, where it's been a positive situation?
I would say, I mean, along the lines of our customers, and those that I'm talking to, no, but I would more so say, like, in the news and some of just the research that I've done,
Hmm.
kind of hearing and reading a couple things of how these companies, and especially too, just I have a lot of friends that work in the hospitality industry,
Okay.
and just hearing those stories have been really crazy, and it's definitely a really rough time for them right now. And it's just kind of crazy to think about how much really that rides on their success, and their business, and everything that's going on, and how that's really impacted really the business as a whole, and the industry as a whole. So
Yeah, it's really tough when you look at an industry like that. I don't know how much creativity in the world can solve for just the fact that you need consumers at your facility to run your business. And that's really unfortunate.
That is definitely true. Yeah, I would say between hospitality and a couple of my friends that work that are flight attendants too. So
Yeah.
been crazy to hear, but it's also too just just gives you a lot of perspective of everybody in the world in those different industries that we all work in each and every day, and some of my friends that are still working, and those people that I know, and some of us that really aren't, and don't have any work to get done right now, or in worst case scenario that their company can't afford to keep them on during this time. So
Yeah. Good message and good reminder. Those of us that are fortunate enough to be in an industry that is still working, take advantage of those opportunities.
very, very true, Josh.
All right, Becca. Well, thank you for joining the show. I really appreciate it.